Well, Barry, in the book of Matthew, chapter 11, the last couple of verses, Yeshua says, "Come to me, all you who are struggling and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, because I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls." The last verse he says is this: "For my yoke is easy, and my burden is light." Barry, was he overselling himself a little bit there? What are your thoughts?
Like a used car salesman. This fine gem on four wheels right here, low miles. Grandma drove it to church every other Sunday.
Yeah. And what's the warranty? Well, as soon as I don't see your tail lights, that's it. Okay.
We'll cover any damage throughout the parking lot. His burden is light. There have been a few times that I've wondered, where's that light burden at? Didn't you say something about light around here?
Yeah.
We've all had those moments, but
days,
is
months.
It by comparison that he is at saying?
Yeah, I think that's where it is. If we look at where we're at and what we do and what we're involved in these days, one of the greatest things is remembering back to before. BC, and before he entered into our lives, because the yoke of the enemy, though it has its allure, though it has its attractions, the end results, and I'm not talking about eternal end results, but end results in an earthly manner, tend to be pretty disastrous. And so, by comparison, his burden is easy. His yoke is easy. The burden is light. But at the same time, it's kind of like the word soon, or I come quickly. It seems that he has a little bit different definition for words than I do.
It's somewhere in the Hebrew to English translation that something got lost there.
Something along the way, somewhere maybe in Latin, it was where we lost it.
I think we tend to forget the mental and emotional state before Yeshua.
Yeah.
I had an experience probably many in our audience had as a teenager, or even as preteen. Back in the day, where we were taught that there was a imminent, any day, any moment rapture that was going to take place.
Mm-hmm.
I was raised on that kind of preaching. I went to camps and saw the videos of Left Behind style drama, and
you could watch the sideburns grow.
Everybody's being chased by whoever the perceived bad guys are, and I'm thinking, I don't want to be here for that. But I remember laying in the bed, and it's completely quiet in the house. And I'm laying there thinking, has everybody been taken and I've been left behind? Or come home when unexpectedly finding no one's there. Where's mom? Where are my siblings at? They're supposed to be here. What happened? I mean, there's no, the car is still in the drive. Where'd they go? And the panic that would set in, or those situations, funny, which was more common, and Mike, and that's where you find yourself in a near tragedy situation, car out of control or accident of some sort, and it dawns on you, if that had been bad, I would not have been ready. That would not have been good. So the fear idea, the fearfulness, but I'm also thinking about those who are currently being videoed or videoing themselves, and they are in some extreme panic mode because the election a few weeks ago didn't go as they had hoped. And now they have been convinced that their future is all but disastrous, and maybe even that. And they are in panic mode. Well, it's not the election or the politics of the thing, it's that they are totally dependent upon elements of current life in this present physical world. Those who have no hope beyond whatever all of this is, Rav Shul says, you were of all people most miserable.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Being yoked with Messiah can be and is often the most of challenging times. But at the same time, we know that on the other side of whatever this situation is, there's reprieve, there's release, there's improvement, there is a testimony, there is all of these positive things that can come out. Not to say that life doesn't hit you with one you never get over, but Yeshua is there with us. At least we know that.
Yeah. Well, this is the month that we got through Thanksgiving, okay, and then there's the reality of whoops, December is upon us again. Walking around in Lowe's and listening to Grandma got run over by a reindeer, seeing the abominable snowman, which is like this year, the inflatable they have there is probably 12 feet tall. It's like, let's just get over this month. But the fact is that we need to embrace what is here. We need to embrace this season that we're in as best as we can, but understanding that this is a month that above everything else, probably even greater than the time of Easter, this month separates us. And this month will prove to us individually whether we are a person of compromise or a person of conviction. Because this is probably, in my opinion, is the hardest month for a person that is not Jewish, not a Jew observing the Torah or, whatever every traditions are of that. But when you are looked at as an American, then though if you have beliefs or not, you're looked at as a Christian, and you're going to be putting up a Christmas tree, and you're going to be doing what do you want for Christmas? And, it's just like, oh, get me out of here, Calgon. And just to have to look at somebody and say, no, I don't observe that. Man, I think I've said it on different programs, probably this one. I had a friend of mine who's at best an agnostic, who, when I said that I don't observe Christmas, he called me a heathen. Like, why? I mean, you have now separated yourself, not only from society, but you also separated yourself from the religious traditions of our day. So when Yeshua says, my yoke is easy, I'm like, excuse me, there are some things about this that are not really what I would term easy. What I would call it is worthwhile. Because I know that I am desiring to please him above trying to please others around me. But, we've all had this walk, and you've talked about yours, with your family, and I've got some good friends right now that you haven't met yet. They're part of our congregation, and they're in this process, we can call it, of departing from and embracing another.
Yeah.
Well, that's wonderful for you and for your wife, and if you have children at home or whatever, especially if they're little. But, Barry, when you have extended family, that's where it becomes difficult, because you and I both know that there is a right way to do this and a wrong way. And, we've pretty much proved out that the wrong way is the wrong way.
Times are changing, Mike. It is. I'll put it this way: in the Phillips family, times are changing. We were back home in Grassy Creek, Henry County area for Thanksgiving, and there was a moment on Thanksgiving that my mom looked at myself and our siblings, or my siblings, and said, "And I am expecting all of y'all to be home for Christmas this year." Well, it was an awkward moment in that Laura immediately said, well, "Mama, Miss, and that's not going to happen." Laura happens to be working those days,
Mm-hmm.
so we can't just pack up and head in. That was our save, but also some of my other family's going to be away at the beach. They've had a hard last few months
Yeah.
with death in the family, and
Yeah.
they're taking some time and they are getting away, and that's fine. And mom's going to have a place to be and a family to be with, and that's going to be good. But the idea of we have to keep the tradition alive. If it would, Mike, if this month were all genuinely about a fervent recognition, celebration, and worship of Yeshua at a time of birth, that would be one thing. But it has traditionally had all of these other synchronistic elements brought in that has nothing to do with Yeshua whatsoever. And we have traditionally tied all of that to him. No, I don't believe Yeshua was born in December, especially not on the 25th of December. Uh, and we're never told to worship the day that we anticipate that he was born. We don't see an example of that. There's nothing of this in scripture whatsoever. The closest is shepherds come and they come to the place of his birth and worship. That's as close as you get. You know, whoever these magi, wise men, whoever wise counselors were, they came at a later time. So, I mean, to put the whole traditional package together and say, if we don't observe this, we are denying the deity of Messiah. We're taking away the specialness of who he is. I no longer allow myself to be put under that microscope.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, Yeshua himself said in Mark 7, he said, nullifying the word of Elohim through your tradition, which you have handed down. And he says in another place, you make the word of Elohim of no effect. You take away the power of the word because you prefer your traditions over me. But Mike, if that's all that someone's got, they don't understand anything about Hebrew roots and Torah and Shabbat. They don't have any clue of any of that. And this is all that they have. To take it away without a substantive teaching, foundation laying, something to help them through a process, it would be a train wreck. You know,
Okay.
I don't applaud any of all the trappings of stuff. And if I hear Mariah Carey singing again in Walmart, I think I'll just go nuts. But
Well, we
okay,
won't go to
that's
Walmart on Friday then.
a small thing. I mean, I'm just one person out of the entire county here. I'm not asking that they line up to please me.
So, I can go with you on this one of if this time was about the focus on Yeshua, even if they called him by a anglicized name, Okay. If it was this month devoted to a time of honoring him, worshiping him, and the date was wrong, okay, I'm fine with that. As far as an observance and a commemoration of his birth, I have no problem with that, and I try to do that every year on, first of all, on at Hanukkah when I believe that he was conceived, and at Sukkot when I believe he was born. Okay,
Right.
that's part of who I am of doing those things. But we all know that this month now has absolutely nothing to do with the birth of Messiah. Even in churches, it is it is turned into productions. It is turned into membership drives. It is turned into it is just as much materialistic within. And I know that I'm probably sounding pretty judgmental on this, but it's not the first time. It is just as much materialistic inside the doors as it is outside the doors. And besides that, a mutual friend of ours, Jared, posted something on Facebook the other day, and I sent it to a friend this morning early. I think it was this morning or last night, one of the two. And it was a expounding on something that I've taught on over the years, that you tell your children that there's a Santa Claus, there's an Easter bunny, there is a tooth fairy, and there is a God who has sent his son as Messiah to redeem us. Well, the first three are a lie, but the first three have great emotion tied to them. We can all remember back to our first Christmases and our first Easter egg hunts, and you lost your tooth, and back then I think it was a quarter. Inflation has driven the price of teeth up even, but you go through, and a child is emotionally attached to lies. No, it's not. Oh, it's just a lot of fun. No, it's a lie. Call it what it is. It's a lie. And then a child grows up and finds out, as I did when I went out into the garage and saw that Santa had left the boxes for my Christmas presents in the garage. And I'm like, somebody been lying to me. And then your children find out that no, the Easter bunny's a lie. And the tooth fairy is a lie. But no, we didn't lie about this thing of there being a God and there being a redeemer. No, that was the truth. Excuse me, you have a track record of lying to me. So why should I believe you now? I'm done.
It's amazing, Mike. People who obviously are mature enough to not believe in Santa Claus will still put his image up in their yard in the blow up image, or he and his sleigh are stationed on their roof or crashed in a tree or something. And we promote taking the kids to see Santa in the mall and that kind of thing.
We don't.
We don't, as a nation, perhaps, but not anyway.
Don't.
We promote what we don't believe in.
Yeah,
because it's entertaining. It's sentimental. It's, as you said, it's emotional.
Yeah.
There is a lot of fond memories and just what anyway. But we promote what we don't believe. But what we do believe, do we promote that? So, why would somebody promote what they don't believe if it's not nostalgia and emotion? Well, it's entertaining. It's just for fun. Truth, what is real, it's exciting, it's encouraging, but sometimes it hurts. We've all heard the
True.
phrase, the truth hurts.
Yeah.
Where did we get the idea that preaching has to be entertaining? Man,
It came
that
from the
was a great
television.
service. Yeah, we have the production of entertaining preaching, and I don't. There are certain people, they have an ability to communicate at a very engaging, encouraging, and even exciting manner, and they
Thank
can,
you.
as we used to say, they can whoop it up.
You just went right on by that, didn't you?
I didn't hear what you said.
I said thank you right in the middle of that.
Oh, yeah, Mike's at the top of the list for sure.
I say so humbly,
So
so much for Joyce's note that just said we look forward to your visit and presentation. Thanks, Joyce. Yeah, just mess that one up.
so sometimes the word needs to do as a brother in our congregation will often pray, let your word do its surgery on our heart.
Yeah.
The word is supposed to correct and admonish. Yes, it's supposed to encourage. If you never preach anything positive, you need to preach. You need to figure something out. Every once in a while, folks need to be encouraged and not just berated and browbeaten. If everything is wrong as it was when I was raised up, everything was a sin. Everything's not a
Mhm.
sin.
No.
Life is not sinful. Living is not an act of sin that we're just mercy. It's the mercy of Yah alone that He didn't kill us for going out the front door. We got to get beyond all of that. I'm off my soapbox. I'm sorry.
Well, to me, there's a joy in the festivals, because I understand that the festivals are not just temporary. The festivals are eternal. But this whole thing of why is it more attractive to someone to promote a lie than truth is because the lie speaks to our flesh.
Truth.
Okay. Yeah. The you walk around the store right now and it's like, well, what do you want for Christmas? Well, what do you want for Christmas? It's just all about self. This whole thing, and you know, I dare say, worship services can be the same. It becomes about me. I heard someone say the other day, as they were about to go into some music, well, we're going to spend some time in a worship service, and I hope it's a blessing to you. What? Since when was worship supposed to be about you? Since when was as a good friend of mine used to say, life is not about you. So if we're going into worship, it's like, wow, I really enjoyed that worship service because I feel so wonderful. We should be looking up to the heavens and saying, I wonder how he feels about it right now. Did this worship whoops. Did this I saw that face. Did this worship service bring a smile to his face?
Yeah.
Did our time together did it draw his attention? Back in the old days of the March for Jesus, the statement was that this is all about an audience of one.
Mhm.
Yeah. So when we become our own audience, we're the performer and the audience at the same time. That's a very small. It takes a very small building to do that in.
A prayer that I've often prayed, and I have to confess, not every week, but often I have prayed, Father, what songs can we play for you
Mm-hmm.
this weekend?
Mm-hmm.
Is there music that you want to hear? Is it a set of songs? Is it one song?
Mm-hmm.
Um, any song, any worship musically, any dance that is offered, Any praise that is lifted needs to be done with a pure heart. It doesn't mean that the individual is, spotless beyond all imagination. It means that their heart is engaged. And that's something that Yeshua consistently was trying to communicate to us. You can look around and say, I compare better favorably to everyone else in the room, or forgive me, oh yeah, for I know who I am. And come to him with contrition and with a sincere revelation of yourself and of him. And there are times, Mike, yes, people catch the emotion of the song. There have been times that I played the music and sang the lyrics and sat down.
Yeah.
There are times that I have strummed the guitar and stepped into a zone and heard worship come out of me and those around me. And it was as if we were being orchestrated and moved along and carried along by his breath, far beyond what we had rehearsed. And we have stepped into that moment.
I've been in that service with you.
I would love for that to be every gathering occasion. It's not.
No.
But I tell you, when it does happen, it leaves you smitten in his spirit.
Mm-hmm.
It leaves you humbled. It leaves you with the stark realization, I'm not worthy, but he has sure been made. His worthiness has been made, revealed in this room.
Yeah.
And thank you for the privilege of just partnering with you. But does that mean that when I've sang the songs and sat down, that nothing happened? No. Mike, you don't feel fire in your bones every day.
No. Sometimes you don't want to get out of bed,
Yeah, that happens on occasion, but
I'm not really thrilled about driving 500 miles today, but I like the destination.
Well, we appreciate you coming, and just to be sure we get this in, Mike will be with Laura and I in House of David this weekend, this Shabbat, and doing the Tabernacle experience and teaching. If you are local and you're going to be coming, or now that you understand he's going to be here and you want to come, please contact me for location. We will not be at House of David. We're going to be in a gym of a local congregation who's allowing us to rent their facilities. And Mike, normally a gym is not the warmest place. High ceilings, broad dimensions. Heat doesn't always work the best, especially when it's really cold outside, and we're in for a cold weekend. So dress warmly.
Yeah.
So anyway, if you're coming, please contact me. Just put in the notes below, and
you're great.
But we're looking forward to you coming. And I've been with you on 4 previous occasions for this presentation.
Yeah.
I'm expecting you to step it up and to do something with a greater wow factor, so I can be entertained.
Okay, I'm going to try. I'm packing my tutu. Actually, I'm not, because you said it was going to be cold. So I'd need like a 3-3. You started it. Okay, hey, let me give some final words for this month we're in. I think it would be a great prayer for us to just to live our life this month in such a way that it brings joy to him, that we are obedient to his word. We are separating ourselves from the things of this world, even at the cost sometimes of relationships and other people liking us and getting invited to things. And, you're not going to be, okay? And that's all right with me. because I'm really concerned about, I want to be invited to his house, not somebody else's in the end. But also the attitude that we walk through this month. When somebody wishes you a Merry Christmas, you don't have to jump down their throat.
No.
Just look at them and say thank you. That's all. They're just trying to be nice. If somebody says, "Are you ready for Christmas?" I love Hanok Young's response. He says, "I'm as ready as I'm ever going to be." It doesn't have to be an argument. But if the opportunity arises for a true discussion, a conversation, be willing to offer the truth and be willing to challenge people. If they say to you, well, why don't you observe this? You can say, I think you can look at them very honestly and say, does it really have the meaning that you think it's supposed to? And most anybody would look at you and say, no, it really doesn't. And that offers you an opportunity to say, then, I've just come to the conclusion that if it doesn't have a meaning that uplifts the Messiah, that I really don't need to be a part of it. So I choose to do something different, and I'd be glad to talk to you about that some other time.
Yeah.
If people say to you, well, why do you not do Christmas? Look at them and say, do you really want to know? Because some people are not asking a question, wanting an answer. So, turn it back and say, do you really want to know? Most people would honestly say, no, I really don't. I was just trying to be polite.
I used to get angry, especially when I worked in retail this time of year, and it was just, it was hard. So when you hear the common salutation, the Merry Christmas or whatever, thank you, appreciate that.
Yeah,
and I do. I appreciate the sentiment. I understand where it's coming from. What we can pray is, Father, while our family, our friends are observing this holiday, reveal your genuine self to them.
Yeah.
May they be, people will sometimes, contemplate and think about the over commercialization of things and try to get back to the root of why they're doing it. In that moment, Father, reveal yourself to them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's one opportunity. Another is this year, Hanukkah starts on the evening of the 25th.
Yep.
And, depending on the person, hey, you ready for Christmas? I'm prepared for Hanukkah. Starts evening of the 25th. And smile and walk away. I didn't know you were Jewish. I'm not.
Yeah. But don't make Hanukkah a Christmas alternative. It stands on its own.
No, it's not. And people have no clue of what Hanukkah is.
No.
Oh, you lighting candles or something? Is that what you're doing? Well, that's part of it. But it doesn't have to be an argument, and I don't have to be miserable for 30 days. I don't have to. Whatever you do, however you express yourself, keep a smile on your face and joy in your heart. And if you're encouraging others to find the real Messiah during this season, may we do the same thing.
Go for it.
May we find the real Messiah. So, and anyway, it's not the holiday war unnecessary. It doesn't have to be that way.
It's not a hill worth dying on. All right, Barry. See you tomorrow night, God willing.
Hey, drive safely. We pray for your safe travel. A lot of people, we'll put it that way, out there on the roads that not paying attention.
Yep.
And again, folks, if you want to come, it starts Shabbat day at 10 a.m. We'll probably end up finishing everything around 6. and there's some information you might need. So just respond to the video, and I'll get you the information.
Sounds good.
Look forward to it, Mike. See
Got it,
you
man.
tomorrow.